Okay, it's doing it.
All right, I'll call the meeting to order at 7 o'clock. Purpose of the meeting is to talk about the,
2018 abatements.
yes,
4 of them have been settled if you choose to approve them. All 4 of these are in the Woods Run River Road neighborhood. They were represented together because they felt as though their neighborhood altogether was overassessed. The recent sales data over the last year in that neighborhood, with the exception of, there's an empty lot that sold out there, which sold for a lot of money. That could not be taken into consideration because it was outside of the 1-year window that they could consider. So the statistics of those sales within that term would corroborate their claim, and they all agreed to a 5% reduction in value. One of them had an adjustment on the facts of the property before, something else about the property was assessed incorrectly before the adjustment was applied. So it's not a straight 5% for one of them.
Okay.
so they've agreed to it, and Avatar is the one who negotiated it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that's Chad's recommendation, they agreed to it. So now if you choose to sign it, then I'll give it to the tax collector, and she and I will work out what the refund is that's due. This is abatements of prior taxes paid, so
For last year.
well, for 2018, but since it wasn't settled in 2018, it carries forward to 2019. Because 2019 abatements haven't started yet, because they're not due until March. So this value that you're agreeing to will be in effect for 18, which is what they're disputing, all the way through into the next revale.
So why didn't it get settled for 18? Why did it take?
I think that's a backup in BTLA. It just,
Tell me.
the Board of Land and Tax Appeals.
Okay.
Because the process is that abatements are due here in March, and then you all approve them or deny them, and then if you deny them or don't respond, which is also a denial, then they can appeal that to the Board of Land and Tax Appeals. If they do that, you have to get in the queue for the BTLA to send you the paperwork, and they tell you have to mediate it, and then you try to mediate it and it doesn't work, and then eventually they will hear the case if it cannot be settled in negotiations.
And all along, accruing interest.
If you read it, it tells you what the interest date is from, and I don't know if that, I think it's just from the settlement date. It might go back to the application date, but I think it's the settlement date.
6% interest for date paid to the refund.
Yeah, date paid, okay.
Oh, here.
So since the taxes were paid, yes, they get interest.
Okay.
So you might be getting to this, but the email you sent said there's a 5th one that is going to appear, that they're not accepting this.
No.
What was the fourth one?
So you're looking at 4 that are all within the same neighborhood,
Yep.
and the email of last week was that 3 of the 4 had agreed to settle,
Oh,
and the 4th one was not.
okay.
And so so he met with them,
In that
and
time.
now in that time, and now they have all settled. So these are the settlements for those. There's a 5th abatement outstanding still, or there was, that has rescinded. Chad negotiated with them to rescind their abatement application because the property since sold for a value that substantiates our assessed value.
Okay.
And then there is a 6th abatement for a property on Central Ave in Dover, and that just isn't resolved yet.
Hannaford or,
Mm-hmm.
I believe, I'm not sure if it's Hannaford or Shaw.
It was Hannaford.
I think it's
Yeah.
Hannaford.
Because that's what it was the last year.
Yeah, I think
So
it's
it must be the same one.
Okay.
So it's saying 17, 18, and 19.
Okay, so it goes back, so some of them, maybe not all of them, but
Yeah, so-
do they all go back to?
Yeah.
Okay, so then yes.
So they've been negotiating these since 17?
Yeah.
That seems like an awful long time.
I agree, and I don't have an answer for that, but I'll talk to Chad about it. It's not uncommon, is all I can tell you, and I'll learn more about why and let you know.
Okay.
I can see 2 years, you know, because you're well into the second year by the time you get through
Mhm.
BTLA, but
Mhm.
that's a lot of years for this to be ongoing.
I just want to ensure that they're representing us as much as
Well,
they can, as quickly as they can.
Agreed, and so I did ask Chad for the data, and I told him that I want to work with him and be aware of what he's doing and what his strategy is, and to understand better what he's doing so that we're not surprised by things we don't understand, you know, just so I can, you know, learn for our sake, but also so that I can feel also that we're not just settling things, but that we understand that the data corroborates what's going on.
So each one of these years, they file for an abatement?
Yes.
Each one of these years?
Not 19, because 19 hasn't happened yet.
So then why does it say 19?
Because 19, like, we're in the filing period, so because it can't.
Because we're gonna have to, because
Right, because
it needs to be resolved.
Right,
Okay.
because we're
Okay.
agreeing to a new value, so that new value carries forward. So
Forward,
it carried
okay.
forward into 19, which is not yet abated.
Okay, but they would have if we didn't take care of it. They would
Right,
have done it.
they would have filed
So
for
we
it.
might as well just take care
Well,
of it.
and if you're agreeing for a value going forward,
Yes.
you have to, like, that includes 19,
Yes, okay,
so you can't not include that.
yeah, okay. All right, so, and so then 20 is gonna be the correct amount when they get their first tax bill.
So this value now, if you approve it, Chad will come in and change our data so that those properties reflect this new assessed value, and then the 2020 tax bills will reflect that data,
Okay,
that,
okay.
that amount, yes.
All right. So, what is our action tonight? Because why would we sign it before the taxpayer's signature?
I don't suppose that you have to, except that you have them, and so you're taking it on Chad's word that they've negotiated it and they agreed to it. I don't suppose it matters really who signs them, except that the sooner that we can process this, the less interest we're paying.
Yeah, okay, I'm just, I would have thought if he had gotten them to agree, we would have had them sign it, but,
Probably when they sat down, you know, he then takes this back to the people, like, somebody had to create the paperwork after the
yeah,
negotiation.
okay, all right.
That makes sense.
Any questions?
Nope, I'm good with it.
All right.
Should I make a motion?
Mhm.
I'll make a motion that we accept the abatements for the 4 properties in the Woodlands subdivision.
All right, and I'll second it. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
I will send you you will have another piece of paper to sign, perhaps, if nothing else, you'll be signing these refund checks, but I'll send you an email with an update for what the financial effect of this is going to be,
Okay, all
just so
right,
you know. But it's
So-
not budgetary amounts, we were talking about it, it just comes out of fund balance.
Okay. Yeah, it can't be that much.
No, it should be relatively insignificant,
okay.
you know, from a budgetary standpoint.
Okay, all right, so we'll go ahead and sign
Yeah.
them, and then they get sent to the Board of Tax and Land Appeals. As well, we keep a copy here and Avatar gets a copy, right?
Well, yes, and then we'll get back another copy that's fully signed,
Good, okay, very good, all right. So you want me to sign them?
yes.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna talk about this one, I'm signing,
All right.
and then we can, so I just sign it, you don't have to put
Bottom
anything
line,
up
I'm
here.
sorry, like, follow the arrows on the
Yeah,
other
I know
pages,
it's
but
right
yeah,
here,
yep,
but I
that's
don't
it.
have to do anything up here,
No,
it's all
there's
taken
nothing
care
else
of,
to do.
okay.
Alright. I'll just make this motion while you sign it.
Yeah.
So I'll move purchase order 1767 to Dover Honda for $330.83.
All right, I'll second it.
And this is 83 for repair to forestry 1.
Yeah, they've got a broken transmission line.
Transmission line.
Yeah,
So we don't really have a choice but to keep it running.
alrighty, so any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Motion passed. Oh, you did. Anything else that we have to do? No?
Anything else can wait until Monday night?
Alright. Can we, just wanted to mention that we should be working on the policy for purchasing and, credit card, at least have the first one Monday. Can you send Jessica, or can you talk to her, or remind her, try to come, prepared for that, so we can get back on, path of
We
increased.
have, there's a public hearing on Monday as well?
No, that's the following meeting on the 27th.
Okay.
Transfer station ordinance.
Oh,
And also, potentially a meeting with, people representing the hospital, but I've not heard back from them about whether that works for them.
Okay.
I've not heard back from them at all.
and are we gonna have meetings with, what McDonald's? I mean, Garrison Players, or is that all taken care of?
They came in one day and met with me, and it was a very lovely, cordial meeting, and they have paid the taxes, and they are drafting a pilot agreement. They like the idea of that, so
They did the taxes, all of it?
they had an emergency fund that they were able to tap
Oh,
into, they said, so,
Very good.
yes.
Last I knew they were gonna come up with something about,
A payment arrangement, that
Payment
was,
arrangement, yeah.
that was the plan, and they came back and said, no, we're just gonna do it.
okay,
So they did it,
okay,
but they like the idea of a pilot agreement because their board is still in flux, and there's a lot of security in the idea of a pilot agreement, so I will pass that along when they,
so those are the only two
Sent
that,
it in. those are the only two.
all right. Anything else? A motion to
Yep.
adjourn,
So moved.
all right, we are adjourned,
That was quick.
7:15.